am back, I am back, I am back! Another reaction video. I took a break away from the reaction videos because I wanted to, but today I'm bringing you another reaction video. So y'all know them people that be asking for money, or the people that be like faking being homeless. I have all of those type of people living around me. Every store I go to, every gas station I go to, every corner I go past, I have people in my town like that everywhere. And they be traveling. I know who really need money and who don't need the money, you know? My mom caught someone in the act. Guy asked her for money before, like $5, I don't know, for gas, because he was running out of gas, right? Mom gave him like, I don't know, $1, $2, whatever, so he could get gas, right? But then the other day she went back, or she went somewhere, and he was there. I guess he forgot that he asked her, ever met her. He forgot like who he asked and who he didn't ask, but he asked my mom again and gave her the same story of, oh, my car's running out of gas. So she caught him and she said nope. And the people over here that be at the stores and stuff, when they ask for money and you give it to them, they don't know how to say thank you. One of the people that be hanging out over there, he robbed somebody. He robbed somebody when somebody took out their money to give him money. He robbed somebody. And you know what? Haven't seen him since. Was that a firework?
We'll see in like 5 minutes.
Wow, you say that.
Because if it happens again, it's firework. If not, it was a gunshot. I don't know.
We about to react to 10 fake homeless people that got caught and got exposed for it. Which needs to happen because these people try to take your money. And us being generous people getting taken advantage of when they probably living in a mansion. We're gonna hop into this video. Yeah, it was a firework.
When we think about the homeless, it's safe to say that most normal people ponder the enormity of the problem and what we can do as a society to help. It simply doesn't cross most of our minds to wonder if we could somehow exploit the plight of the homeless for our own financial gain. But it turns out that there are some heartless con men and women out there who use their cunning and complete lack of scruples to do just that. Fortunately, in a world where practically everyone has a video camera in their pocket, many of these crooks get exposed for all the world to see. Here's a karmically satisfying list of the top 10 fake homeless people busted on camera.
10.
San Diego resident Melissa Smith told the local news that she'd seen the same pregnant woman with a small boy of about 5 in tow, panhandling at a local mall every weekend for a couple months. But one weekend she got an unexpected shock when she spotted the down-on-her-luck mom, who would sometimes be joined by a man who was presumably the boy's father, climbing into a Mercedes-Benz luxury car and driving away. As luck would have it, Miss Smith happened to stop at the same gas station as the crooks on the way home. The man was
Mansions,
and as they left the
cars,
gas station, Miss Smith
horses,
all the while snapping pictures of the couple, their car, and their license plate. The local news station traced the plate to an apartment in the area, but as may have been expected, nobody answered the door. And a few days later, the couple appeared to have split. But not long after the story broke, the couple were spotted again, this time with their newborn, asking for handouts in a different part of town.
Them fireworks are scaring me.
They feigned being bad at English and denied having a Mercedes before hurrying away in a black
and they gotta put their child in that, if that even is their child.
Not one, but 2 vehicles. But now that their cover had been blown, it's unlikely they'll be able to milk San Diego residents for any more of their hard-earned cash.
They need to be in jail.
Michaela Dominguez of Richmond, Virginia,
I don't know if that's a
running
rule, but they
car,
need to be.
and she may have been able to keep pulling it off for a little longer, or at least avoid a jail, if she weren't as foolish as she is crafty. Alert residents who had noticed her panhandling throughout the city confronted her in a video that quickly went viral as she was getting ready to take off in her shiny new Fiat, which she had left in a McDonald's parking lot during her begging excursion. She insisted that the whistleblowers leave her alone, dodging questions about her activities and her car before finally and lamely asserting that she has a disability, the nature of which she of course refused to disclose. After her sudden YouTube stardom, she inexplicably chose to go right back to the same routine, and the public was quick to call her out. In the middle of being caught on video yet again scamming the public, she began lobbing Gatorade bottles at a car, which was enough to earn her a well-deserved trip to jail. Miss Dominguez will want to think twice before trying to run her con in Richmond again, but somehow it seems likely we haven't seen the last of her.
Why are they shooting fireworks? It's scaring me!
Thompson was a regular on the streets of Lexington, Kentucky, and if you'd seen him, you probably would have reached for your wallet. The wheelchair-bound Thompson spoke with the childlike, halting cadence of the profoundly mentally disabled, and told the story about how a settlement that his mother had received for the motorcycle accident which had disabled him as a child, to the tune of $2.5 million, had long since dried up. That part was true, and Gary indeed needs the wheelchair, but as a degree holder in speech and language pathology, the mental disability was just a manipulative, masterful piece of acting. Gary was busted by a local news crew speaking in his regular voice, but instead of being contrite or evasive, he boastfully admitted his scam and claimed to earn close to $100,000 per year perpetrating.
So he admitted it.
Predictably, the story went viral, and the intense public backlash was enough for Gary to change his tune. In a follow-up story a few weeks later, he claimed to have quit panhandling and begun seeking employment, and to be genuinely remorseful. But while feigning a mental disability may not have been enough for the police to get involved, the bad checks he had been passing along with the nearly $100,000 in fraudulent Social Security and Medicaid benefits he had obtained was. Gary is currently in the slammer, and he may be there for a while. In 2012, a New York City TV news crew got a little curious about a woman they would see every day making her way up and down Fifth Avenue, which is populated by trendy upscale shops and the well-to-do shoppers who frequent them. Dressed in rags with her back bent at a terrible angle, she would hobble along on her crutches, shaking her cup and asking for donations, and she would get a lot of them. The news crew watched her day after day, scoring up to 50 donations
That's
per
so
hour,
sad. Like,
and then
people just trying to help
getting into a black
people
van
and they get
emerging as a
scammed.
completely different woman. As you can see, she is neither dressed in rags nor having any difficulty with walking. And once they compiled this smoking gun evidence, the woman was confronted while in costume by a reporter and cameraman. Refusing to break character, the woman hobbled away while the reporter implored her to give up the act, to no avail. The woman hasn't been identified, and chances are she's moved on to a less public scam in the years since. But if you're ever doing any shopping in the Big Apple, you might want to keep an eye out for this shameless phony. In 2016,
It's crazy.
a
She
beggar in the
really
city of
tried to.
Altay in
Oh,
Northwest
I've heard
China
of this
tried an
before.
unbelievably
I've heard of this
ridiculous method
before.
of feigning disability in order
This
to
one.
gain sympathy. Video, which went viral throughout China, showed a suspicious passerby interrogating the man, who appeared to have lost his legs below the knee. But the passerby forcibly removed the man's pants, exposing his impressively contorted legs, which he had somehow folded into his underwear. You may recognize this as the exact ploy attempted by Eddie Murphy's character Billy Ray Valentine in the classic comedy film Trading Places, which makes the gambit all the more hilariously stupid. He probably won't be trying this again anytime soon.
Yeah, I saw that one.
But one could argue that any money he milked out of the public was worth it for this sublime piece of comedy.
I can't.
Iowa business owner Mike Pothoff decided to take matters into his own hands when he kept seeing the same two teenage boys holding a sign reading "Broken Hungry, Please Help" on a street corner by his place of business for several days. He approached them and offered them a job in his store, but instead of being grateful for the offer of gainful employment, they turned him down, telling him that they weren't from the area. Mr. Pothoff was puzzled, but his puzzlement turned to anger when he saw the same boys holding the same sign a couple days later. He repeated his offer but was turned down once again, so he made a sign of his own, one which read, "Offered these guys a job, they said no, don't give money." A picture posted to Facebook of Pothoff standing side by side with one of the panhandlers, each holding their signs, quickly went viral and led to a story on the local TV news. Amazingly, he says that his job offer is still open, and even more amazingly, that this isn't the first time he's had a job offer turned down by a
He's like,
panhandler.
no, we just want the money. Like, we just scam people. Like, we not broke. They not broke. They not broke. 'Cause if they were broke, they would've took that job. They're not broke.
Appeared to be exactly what he claimed. The uncle thought he had seen a regular panhandler in his neighborhood driving away in a nice new car, so he enlisted Jack to do a little investigative reporting, and it turned out that he had hit the nail right on the head. After surreptitiously taking video of the man holding a sign and taking donations, Jack and his makeshift crew followed him down an alleyway, where sure enough he climbed into a nice new Chevy and took off. The intrepid YouTubers then managed to follow him to a house in a nice neighborhood, where they confronted him about his day's activities. Predictably, the man was not happy that he'd been discovered, and became belligerent, before almost becoming
Too
physical.
bad.
But he had been utterly busted, and it's
Too
doubtful
bad.
he'll be
He
running
mad
this
because
racket
he
in
got
Jack Bill's
caught.
neighborhood again.
Sorry.
Portland, Oregon's Michelle Bocci won over the hearts of the town's residents with a sob story straight out of a patriotic country song. A Marine veteran who had served in Iraq and Afghanistan, Bocci had endured a litany of hardships, losing his wife in childbirth and even having his beloved dog, a bomb sniffer who had been by his side throughout his service, gets struck by a car and killed. Social media campaigns called attention to his plight as a heroic widower with 2 young children about to lose his home, and the donations have poured in from churches and community groups throughout the area. But one determined reporter from a local TV station started tugging at strings, and before long, Bocce's whole story had totally unraveled. For starters, he had never served in the Marines or any other branch of the military. His entire service record, along with his stories of being a war hero and a Purple Heart, was totally fabricated. He had never been married, and the children he had been posting pictures with on social media were those of his friends and acquaintances, not his own. It's not even clear whether he'd actually ever had a dog. And to top it all off, several women have
lonely. He lonely. And you ain't gonna get a girl like that.
Has been charged with several counts of theft by deception, but he's no longer in danger of losing his home. He'll have a dependable roof over his head for many years while serving his inevitable jail sentence.
You know what?
Former Army medic Garrett Goodwin lost his cool when he spotted a man on the streets of his hometown in full military garb, with a sign stating that he was a homeless Army vet. Goodwin had no way to tell if the man was actually homeless, but he was pretty sure the guy was no veteran, and he wasn't about to let that fly. When confronted with the burly Goodwin, the decidedly more slight imposter dropped his story in no time flat, admitting that he didn't have a military ID card and responding to Goodwin's demands to take off my uniform with nothing more than a contrite
disrespectful again. Disrespecting the military like that.
Earned him a few scornful remarks on social media, saying that he had gone too far and crossed the threshold into outright bullying. But it's easy to see why this kind of thing provokes the ire of those who have served, and it happens with disturbing frequency. YouTube channel Epic5TV posted a video in which one of their contributors strikes up a conversation with a supposedly homeless down-on-his-luck guy in Las Vegas. He at first offers money, which the guy would have gladly accepted, but the YouTuber then claims to be out of cash, and instead offers to pay for a hotel room on his credit card, which the guy declines. It turns out that he did so for a pretty good reason. Unbeknownst to the con man, the same contributor had encountered him weeks earlier, while filming a prank video in which he asks random bystanders to help him rob a bank to get their reactions. The guy admits that his getup is just a costume and that he owns a house, probably figuring that anyone with enough criminal tendencies to rob a bank wouldn't blow the whistle on him. This YouTuber's experience illustrates a valuable lesson, that anyone who is truly down on their luck would have no trouble accepting an offer of actual help.
So my camera had cut off, so I'm gonna just make this quick. That was the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Watch out for these fake people out here, because people be putting up a front. Stay you, stay true, and be you to the fullest, because baby girl, you a baddie and don't let nobody tell you different. I love you guys. Y'all have a blessed one. Bye.
To infinity and beyond. This is not where I belong. I'm on my right from wrong. What happens when my wrong was right? I've been feeling the zone inside. Try to be in the bad guy. If they ask me thief in the night, I'm in love for this ass sound. Get down, shots fired. Pay me and draw him out on his backside. I don't wanna be that guy, so I keep my gun on standby. I'm not the nigga to stand by. Move on, get hit with an landmine. Ever since we was young, I understand why. It was about bars in my sandbars. Yeah.